Be back here.
That's good. Have a good session, yeah?
Cheers, bro.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
guys.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
I guess we started.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Let's go. So I want to thank you all for tuning into the Last Words with Babs podcast. I've got a special guest with me today. Tell the guys your name, where you're from, and a bit about yourself, and we can get this started.
My name is Rob, aka Tega. That's my producer name. I'm a musician and producer, originally from Bath in southwest England, and I live in London. I've been here for 7 years now. It's around 7 years.
Well,
On and off. Took a little break during the old COVID.
yep.
But, yeah, man. That's me.
Perfect.
And,
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
No
having me
problem.
on.
No problem, bro. So I'm really intrigued to hear about your sort of story, how you started, your sort of journey towards getting to where you are now, and what sort of made you get into music and doing the production of it as well. Sort of share a bit about that.
Always been intrigued by music and sound, man.
Yeah.
I think that's where I felt led to go, and yeah, man. Just I love music. I love playing instruments. I used to sing as well, like in a choir when I was a little kid.
Nice.
So like in a church choir in Bath Abbey.
Yeah.
So had like a rigorous musical training through that. So I had to do like 2 services, like 3 services every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like
wow.
yeah,
Nice.
and 2 practices during the week every week. So that was like a very rigorous musical training, I guess. And then like I learned different instruments. I was, I had the opportunity to do that, which I'm very thankful for my my grandparents who funded a lot of that. So yeah, so thankful for that.
Yeah.
We thank God.
We do, thank God. So I guess what sort of made you want to sort of record it with other artists and sort of help them produce their music? What sort of made you want to sort of go down that sort of pathway of doing it?
I think, I like to, in school I composed and sort of produced stuff, and I was like started using Logic and to produce, and Sibelius, which is a program for like composition. I don't know if you know that one.
No, but I do know.
It's like it's like where you like draw notes on the page. That's what I use first.
Okay, cool.
Because I was like classically trained. So I was using that, and then so I feel like I had quite a bit of experience in school of like doing my own thing, like making my own music, which I'm very thankful for. And then I think I just wanted to like work with people and like collaborate.
Yeah.
Although maybe I didn't know exactly how to do that at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I played in bands and stuff, obviously at school, so
yeah.
like rock bands and stuff as well. So yeah, man, I just became more interested when I came to London as well. Like, I was DJing a bit and like trying to make my own music.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to work with people, and like I like supporting other people's vision, especially when people when artists come to you and they're like, oh, I've got this idea for a song, or like I want my music to be like that, like this, like that, and that it just really intrigues me to like how can I support that vision for you, and how can we create something beautiful. And also just working with people was really nice, man. Because like I feel like if you're going to be like producer DJ on the scene or something, like if you try and do everything yourself, it can be quite lonely. Some people like that, but I quite like the collaborative aspect of working with people for a shared vision.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Yeah. So what has been your your top 5 best musical like highlights that you've had so far in terms of your like career and how you've delved into that so from the start to now, what do you think has been 5 biggest ones that you really enjoyed making or you really enjoyed doing with another artist? If you sort of had to pick, one.
I don't know, like I try and enjoy everything I do. Sometimes I don't enjoy it, we can't enjoy everything.
Of course.
But Oyoko, who you met, who did the other podcast, that was a really interesting and cool opportunity because there was quite a bit of funding involved, so we got to work with like this group of Ghanaian drummers called One Drum Africa, led by Abastado.
Wow.
And that was really cool because we got to go to 1087 studios and like record them in this. They've got an amazing library there, and like the top mics in the industry and preamps and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Great engineer, who was like there to help us, loads of help and support in the studio, so you could kind of like sit back and be like executive producer kind of role.
Yeah.
And just having being able to support and record just record those guys and support that project come to life was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing. I hope I can do something like that again soon.
Yeah.
That really comes to mind, and just but I enjoy every artist that I work with.
That's cool. Now guys, we are both of Christ, so I guess how is your faith shaped who you are as a person and as an artist and just in general? How has that helped you to what sort of things have you gone through that you feel Christ has helped you to get out of and has helped to make your faith stronger for you through your sort of journey through life that you sort of had so far? What things do you think, if you had to pinpoint 1 or 2 things that have sort of helped your sort of journey, what would you say?
Helped my relationship with Christ and with grow closer to God, basically. Okay, so I would say being exposed to other believers who've guided me, and good friends. I spent like a lot of time, I guess I was involved with the church when I was a kid, but when I was young, but I wasn't like, I don't know if I was actively believing or sort of, how when you're like really young and you go to church, maybe you sort of like, you're just going along with it.
Yeah.
You're not really consciously making. You're not making that decision. I was forced to be there like every week. I was like, I don't want to go. But and then during university, I really walked away from Christ, and I was like, no, like I don't believe any of this. I'm gonna forge my own path. And then I think I met someone through work, a good friend of mine called Devontae, who's a Christian artist called Barley. And he I just noticed, I think my discernment that I had naturally or whatever, I could tell that he was at peace on some level, and I was intrigued. So I think that was like the Holy Spirit was like leading me to church in that way. I like wanted to find out where his source of peace was coming from. Because I think I was quite lost in that moment. Man, deep. And then, so then he was like, just go to church, and was really casual about it, and I was like, oh wow, cool, where's this church? Like, let me go along. And then, I went to that church called Imprint, which I still go to on and off. But yeah, like I'm married now, and me and my wife were still trying to decide what church to commit to, because it's been like a year now. Just like I experienced like worship there. Remember the first time, and I was like, okay, this is different. It wasn't something I was used to, because the style of church was quite different to, like, I grew up between the Catholic and the Anglican church, which has it quite I don't know, it's just quite a different style of church. It can be a bit more kind of formulaic in some way, but I think every style of like church has its like pros and cons, you know. I think maybe I wasn't as drawn to that as at the time. And then when I witnessed this like musical worship that was going on at Imprint, I was like really drawn to it, because obviously I'm a musician, love music. And then I think I felt something else. Like I think I felt, you know, the spirit in the music, and I felt sort of enraptured by it, but in a good way. And then I was like, okay, wow. And then I found myself praising God, and then I was like, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's good. That's good. I guess what tips would you give to somebody who wants to get into music, wants to take it seriously, is in the faith, but is not sure how they can navigate how to start to sort of go into it, and how to get into the music, how to really share their journey or share their story through the music, and they need some sort of advice, or they need tips from you in terms of how to get into it. What sort of maybe 5 tips would you sort of give for them?
Tips on someone who's approaching music, wants to start approaching me. Okay. Interesting. I'd say just go for it. Feel free. Don't try and copy someone else too much. Although, if you're learning, copying could be a good way. But don't feel the pressure of like what to do, that you should do this or should do that. Just play around with music and have fun and see where it leads you.
I guess from when you were starting out, who inspired you to in music to sort of get into it and sort of dive into it for you?
Who inspires me? I'd say initially my uncle, man. Like back in the day, he was doing film, so and he was like, when I was a kid, he was like, let's make a music video. It was so fun. And I was like, he had like one of those old school iMacs, you know, the ones that had were kind of like rounded, and he was like making everything on iMovie or whatever. And I was like, this is so fun. And so he was inspirational in like, you know, he was the OG creative. And my initial inspiration there. And you know, my parents playing me records like the Beatles, Randy Newman, stuff like that, and just vibing to those songs and being like, cool, wow, like creativity, what is that? Like, we can write words on a page, we can play different chords and come up with things that can have like an amazing influence to people. And that was it, I think. And and just the beauty of sound and music. Definitely witnessed that a lot in the choir that I told you about, like recitals and stuff over the holiday periods, like Easter and Christmas and stuff. I had the chance to sing some like really beautiful stuff and even perform some solos at times, and then just witnessing the beauty of like music, God-given music and sound, man. And that was the inspiration, I think, rather than always a particular person. I think a lot of people talk about creativity. They're not sure where creativity comes from. I mean, and as Christians, we believe it comes from God.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is true. And we're kind of like vessels, and it kind of flows through us, and we receive this inspiration. So thankful for that I can be creative in that way.
Yeah.
And always striving to be better.
So just to piggyback off that, where do you see yourself going with it in I guess in the future? Do you sort of wanna sort of continue with what you're doing at the moment and see where it goes, or do you sort of have a plan of where you want to take it? You want to take your music and the stuff that you're doing now?
I just want to work with like more people that have sort of a greater vision, and just more people, and just keep advancing my craft. And I see myself doing music full time in the future. I'm currently sort of doing it part time. I'm trying to do it full time, but realistically it's part time. But I'd like to sort of it be my main source of income, and I'd like to just create some inspirational projects and support them as well, and just see where God leads me with it.
Amen. Okay, let's switch it up, I guess. Do you have any questions for me? You got some time. You can ask me any question that you may have for me personally as well. I sort of like to mix it up too. It's not just me asking you questions.
Yeah, man. Sure.
You can ask me some questions.
What inspired you to start a podcast? Sorry, take your time.
No, that's fine. Good question. What inspired me? Okay, let's go a bit deep. So, I guess the reason why I started doing it was, as a child, that I had speech issues. So I struggled to like show who I am in class and school. So I was quite down on myself in that sort of phase. And weirdly, I found creating video content really helped me to like show who I was and sort of share my journey and my story with people. So I started doing that for a while. Then after a while, I wanted to find a way that I can reach more people and sort of help more people. So I then looked at ways that I could do that, and then I thought, okay, why not go into the podcast space and sort of have more ways that I can reach more people and inspire more people through that sort of
that's amazing, man.
Medium.
That's so brave as well. Like that, I think that's really inspired, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate
Props to you, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at God, man.
Yeah, praise God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's dope. No, I really respect it. My grandmother had like speech impediment as well. And I feel like some parts of that maybe run in my family a little bit. I sort of stammer a little bit sometimes as well. Yeah. But I really think it's amazing that you're doing this, and I feel like it probably helps you a lot.
Oh yeah, it does. I think weirdly, I think God's amazing. I think He really inspired me to really wanna push it even more. So I'm even doing it. I think I had talked to you about this before the episode for the pod, but so I'm doing a talk at school after this. So it's really inspiring for me to be able to share and inspire kids to sort of go for their dreams and inspire what they want to do. And I think I really want to do more speaking at events and speaking at schools and at different places, so I can inspire and share my story to more broad audience and inspire more people through what I've done to sort of reach where they want to go and sort of use what God's given me to sort of help and inspire more people through that as a means. So I just feel so much that I want to do. There's so much more that God's sort of trying to do for me, and I think the journey that he's that is sort of that he's sort of taken me from where I was to where I am now. You know, I couldn't be more. I couldn't be more more sort of blessed and more sort of humbled by where I'm going and where I've been. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. We thank God, man.
Thank God all the time. Yeah. Do you sort of have any questions you want to ask me, or you good? Anything you can tell me.
You from London, right?
I am.
What part?
So I was born in Plaistow, East London, Newham. Yeah, and then I was born and raised there, and then I moved to Wolverhampton for uni,
Okay.
which is near Birmingham. Yeah, and then I moved back here. So yeah, born and raised in East London.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. How was that?
How was it? Well, okay, so I guess people who are tuning in who are from East London, you sort of know what I'm talking about, but it was quite rough. It was quite rough period.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of crime, a lot of stuff happening.
Pretty hectic.
Yeah, pretty hectic. I think now it's not as hectic as it was back then.
I've heard stories of
personally,
like how it was back then.
Yeah.
Like some of my mates from London, just certain parts, saying
Yeah.
certain parts. I don't want to name particular
Oh,
areas,
yeah.
but like, but just certain parts just being like no-go zones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Yeah. It's pretty rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was lucky enough, very fortunate that my dad like was able to get with a job in New Zealand, and we went out there.
Ooh, nice.
So it was an interesting experience because I was like transported out of my school in Bath
Mm-hmm.
to in New Zealand for like 5 years. And it's just like really chilled out there. And I think that it was a good place to go to high school because I wasn't really worried about there wasn't much crime or drugs or much anything out there at the time. So yeah, I think that was nice, and I think London could be quite a mad place to grow up.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit tapped, I don't know. But like, definitely like breeds you. Well, what am I saying? Teaches you to be like street smart, I guess. And I can see that in Londoners as well. Like they're like very on it in that way.
Definitely.
So I guess everything comes with its like pros and cons.
Yeah, it's true. So I'm curious. What was life like in Bath, and I guess how did it compare to New Zealand when you moved out there? How is it?
Yeah, man. Bath was nice. I would say it's, in a way, even though it's really like Bath is a lot smaller than London. It's a little bit similar. I mean, similar culture where I was from, and there are also rough parts. Even though people look at Bath and be like, "Oh, that city is really like posh and beautiful."
Yeah.
Like there are definitely rough parts of Bath as well. Like around it, like it's just similar to London that way. You can be like 5 minutes in the nice bit, 5 minutes in a rough bit, and I definitely agree that like when I was growing up, it was rougher. Like like there were bits you would walk to school and you'd have a chance of getting getting mugged or whatever by the guys on the corner. I was lucky enough to go. I don't know if it's lucky, to be honest, whatever it is, but I come from a middle class background, so I went to a private school. So I used to wear like a little uniform or whatever, go to school, and the guys used to yell like, "Bosh wanker," or whatever. Yeah, no, those were the days. But I feel like it was different now. That stuff doesn't really happen anymore for some reason. I guess the times have changed.
Yeah.
Society's moved on a bit. But I don't know. Maybe it does still happen in certain places, but just places like gentrify, I guess, and the city expands or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So always changing.
Yeah.
But what am I trying to say? No, just stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The outlook of things has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you said New Zealand was quite was a more like chilled sort of.
Yeah, people are a lot more relaxed, and I think there's less exposure. There's way less people, and there's a lot less exposure to like drugs. I think that's a big element of growing up. Personally, my friendship group in Bath, they got pretty like reckless while I wasn't there, and they were like going into clubs like underage and like trying to get drugs and stuff. And one of my best mates sadly passed away. When he was 16. That was weird for New Zealand, because I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, but for them it was kind of normal, I guess, to like try and get into a club, try and get some pills or something like that.
Yeah.
In being in New Zealand, I had no idea about that. They've got like weed. Quite a lot of people smoke weed.
Yeah.
But at the time that was probably all they had. Like, it was really rare. You heard like one girl in one of the schools was taking like a pill, or what they call party pills, and then it was like a serious issue and everyone heard about it.
Yeah.
So it was like really rare. Whereas here, like, drugs are so pervasive.
Yeah.
And like so many young people were like taking drugs when like in Europe it's like common. Whereas out there's not that exposure to it. So in that way it was good, I think. Yeah, man. That was a weird time for me, because I just remember like my mate calling up and being like, "Oh, bro, like Joe passed away," and I was like, "What?" Like, it was like, I think he was telling me about how they tried to get a pill, and I remember just feeling really angry. Like, why would you do that? Because I didn't have the exposure to it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand. Yeah. Maybe if I'd been like there, within that culture, I would have wanted to as well, or whatever, and But like, I was so confused. But yeah, man. I feel that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Drugs.
And then I guess in terms okay, so I'm intrigued now. So basically, in that journey, how and where did Christ sort of come into it? How did you start to get more into your faith and sort of dig more into that more in that sort of time frame? Was it after?
That was much after. Actually, okay. You know what? I regressed a lot. When I came back to uni.
Yeah.
When I came back to England, UK, and I went to uni here, and I actually got into taking drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I think it was just I succumbed to peer pressure badly, and like, as I say, those things were pervasive here.
Yeah.
And like, just got a group of mates that wanted to do that kind of stuff, and felt the temptation. And obviously I was very far away from Christ. I wasn't interested in church. It was only after, it was like, I would say a year after I finished my uni courses, where I just started to think, there's more to life here.
Yeah.
What's going to make me happy realistically, and like, I'm naturally quite a deep thinker, thinking where's happiness in these things, and I realised that it can't be, happiness, it sounds cliche, but it can't be found in material things, it can't be found in money, and it can't be found in chasing highs either.
Yeah.
And and surprisingly, I think to me at the time, it could be found in acts of faith and acts of generosity, kindness, and the things that Christ teaches in the Bible.
Yeah.
And then I was, I opened it up, started to read, and I was like, okay, right.
Yeah.
Now I understand why, like, I was brought up to read this, and we thank God, man, like, that I had that opportunity, that I had faithful parents that to bring me up in the church.
Yeah.
Because, I think that's a real blessing as well.
Definitely.
Because it was probably a lot easier for me to re-access it after a relationship with God, after not being in a relationship for a while. In that sense. So, I mean, I think it's amazing whoever comes to Christ. I think it's amazing, like, when people come without knowing him at all before. But I guess that's not really something that I can affiliate with. I think my journey was sort of like, I just lost him for a while, and then for quite a long while, and then getting back, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Praise God. So I guess obviously, so how, I guess when you're not doing music, you're not working, what stuff you like to do, like apart from obviously being together with your wife? What things do you enjoy doing? You like to travel? You like to play sports? You like to...
Yeah, travel definitely. Man, I love to see things. I'm a bit of a history nerd. I like to see like old ruins and stuff. Like to travel and see like cool things. Like water sports actually.
Nice,
I like a bit of surfing, windsurfing. Or like paddleboarding.
Okay.
Sometimes just chilling on the water. Man. I'd love to have like, the dream. I'd love to have like a beach house. That'd be so nice. One day.
Nice. Yeah.
Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. I don't like riding horses. I don't like it.
I hear you.
I don't know, they just freak me out, and then I found out that I was allergic to them at some point, like the hair, horse hair. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but my sister loves riding horses. She loves that, and my mum as well. But I don't really like it. I don't think my wife's that interested either. So maybe that's where we align. But random. But bro, I'm just like obsessed with music. So like.
Of course.
Even my downtime sometimes is just playing music now, which is good because I got to keep the interest alive.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
always.
Man.
Always. No, that's good. I guess what if I had to say what 5 things have impacted you the most in your life today, what things would you say?
Faith.
Yeah.
5 things, yeah?
Yeah, it's fair. That's too difficult, man. Faith. Kindness. Yeah.
Education. Creativity. I feel like these are really broad stock answers.
That's fine.
What's number 5? I don't know. Family, maybe.
Yeah, that's important. Nice.
Yeah. Should I go any further into it? Is that okay?
Up to you. It's up to you. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I guess for me, I sort of similar to you. I'd probably say faith. Obviously, media, podcasting, obviously. I'd probably say having an impact. So impact would be a big one for me. And I'll probably say family is a huge one. And then I'd definitely say last one would probably be vision. It sort of links to impact, but yeah.
I feel like I need to have a more refined vision sometimes. I feel like that's really important.
Yeah.
Well, like growing up, it's like I wasn't so good on like the organizational side of things or like planning ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of like I live day to day, I think people see me as, I think that's quite good because I can be quite like spontaneous and free.
Yeah.
Which is part of like my creative kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But having a vision I think is super important. And something that I strive to do more of. Yeah. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, like my cousin is a painter. He has always has like his 5-year plan.
Wow.
And then he was talking about it the other day. He was like, I don't always, these goals are quite often like artificial and or something that I don't always reach, but it doesn't matter because they're there to drive,
to push,
to drive him.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's dope. Dope. But yeah, I want to thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate you. It's been a long time in the making. I remember the first time that I met you at the event that we went to, like a creative event.
Yeah.
A few years back. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And
was it Style and Sound?
Yes, it was. It was.
Right.
And I was saying that I wanted to have you on after that, and we was talking and stuff. But yes, it's weird how God like aligns things. Like that we're having it now. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
It's all in His time.
Always.
And kind of, you never know how it's gonna work out. But He's slowly like mixing the pot, slowly working things out.
Definitely.
Feel good. So,
Always. Oh, actually, before we leave, I wanted to ask you. In terms of the Bible, which character from the Bible impacts you, or do you resonate with the most in the Bible? Who do you say you not love, but who do you say, if you had to pick somebody their story really impacts you?
Yeah, like a story that I keep coming back to.
Yes.
And
it's
resonated, as you say.
Yeah.
The one that's coming to mind is The Prodigal Son.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found it quite like synchronous with my journey, as I was saying, like I went really far away from Christ for a bit, and then I felt like I came back. Yeah. And so that story was resonated, as you say, a lot. Yeah. And just I think it's a really prophetic, really lovely story. Yeah. Especially the willingness of like the father to take back the son. Yeah. And how it shows forgiveness, which is really important. Yeah. Definitely forgiveness is something that's hugely emphasised in like the Catholic Church, which was part of my upbringing as well.
Yeah, same, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that came to mind.
Yes, that's powerful.
But it's also important, obviously, Jesus is the centre.
Of course, yeah, always. No, that's really powerful.
How about you?
Me, it's a hard one. Right, so I cheat a bit. I picked two. So I probably say the first one, weirdly enough, now it's changed, but I think it would be Job.
Yeah.
It would be Job because his story
so
to me is painful, but it's like his mindset and his love for God powered his like sadness of where he was in that circumstance. He sort of saw the bigger picture behind where he was and what God had in store for him.
Yeah.
And he sort of had that trust in him, and I think that helped him to have what he lost be restored and even and plus even more. So I think that for me always helps me to realize that no matter what circumstance I'm in, I can always trust in God and know that He's got me, and that I can always have something that's more better for me.
That faith
further down the line,
that leads you on.
Yeah.
And just the trust in God is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's so just drive you. That's obviously what has you doing this.
Exactly.
Like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And like pushing past any difficulties that are in your way. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Man. So it's kind of like linked to. To what we were saying before the podcast about generosity and like giving.
Yeah.
And just having the faith that things will come back to you.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, because like Job like gave him his entire self, basically, to God.
Yeah.
Even after like everything was taken away.
Exactly.
And then after he gave him his entire self, then eventually it was restored. But it's a crazy story.
It's crazy, man.
So I only like heard that story I think for the first time 2 years ago.
Oh really?
And so I only read the Bible properly like 2 years ago. I wouldn't say I don't know if I've still read it properly, we always keep
there's always ways to
there's
learn.
always like parts that you may have not paid attention to, and it's always revealing more as you read it.
Definitely.
But that story, man, so powerful.
Yeah, definitely. And I even try to put myself in that situation, and sometimes, and I think I'm not sure how I would have dealt with it. I'm not sure if I dealt with it the same way that he did, but I think there's always lessons that I can take from that, and I keep learning and relearning that his way was the best way that he did it, and it's something for me to it's something for me to mirror in a way in my sort of life and how I sort of deal with things. So I say him, and then I want to pick one more. The other person is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna pick David. I think I'm gonna pick David because his life as well is quite crazy as well, and there's so many like failings and things that he
a lot of failings
that he went through,
but he still received blessing.
Exactly. So that sort of reminds me that no matter what failings that you've been through and no matter what things that you've gone through, God's grace is sufficient.
Wow.
In that, and it can help you to like hold on to Him and hold on to knowing that He's not gonna leave you nor forsake you, and definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna reread the story of David.
Yes, it's mad. But bro, I want to thank you for coming on.
Gotta take down those Goliaths, bro.
always.
No, thank you for having me.
Always, man. It's been a long time in the making, but it's the best time to have you on, I think, and
awesome.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you, and I know there's gonna be so much more that God has in store for you and for us.
Keep doing you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah.
We're excited for who you're gonna have on here as well.
Same. So man.
I'll be praying for you, man, as well.
You too, bro. Praying for you as well. But I want to thank you all for tuning into the Last Words About the podcast. It's been me.
Tega.
And we see you all soon in the next episode. God bless. Love.
Peace, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, broski.
Cool. That was fun.
It was, man. I love it. Okay, and to remember how I'm gonna turn this off now. Or should I just call them to do it?
Yeah.
Let me call them just to make sure. We finished. Yeah.
That was quick. How'd it go?
Yeah, fam, it was great.
Good.
It was great.
Alright, let me check this camera.